And welcome to Simple Stamping Saturday, take 3. So the video that I loaded first thing, I loaded it yesterday, for some reason has no volume on it. I don't know why, the original does, so I'm going to try again. I'm going to try an SD card, see if that is better, but it does mean I can't do face on. And just as I started doing the second version of this, someone decided to ring me to let me know something I already knew. You couldn't make it up this morning. Anyway, so here we go, take 3, third time lucky. Today I am using the Here Together stamp set and matching items from the Here For You collection. So we have got the stamp set, dies that do the main images, which are these. A selection of sentiments, I promise, love changes everything, every act of kindness changes the world, we'll get through this together and you matter to me. Plus there are also dies for love, Here For You, and you matter. So really useful. These are very much while stocks last. They will not be a reorder of this. Everything else we may be able to get extra stocks in, but at the moment I wouldn't guarantee that because of the global logistics issue. This is the paper, which is all black and white. I've coloured some of these in the new natural tones of blends. But these are lovely black and white images, so great for all sorts of projects, great for masculine projects. So this is the card that we're going to make this morning. Let me see if third time's a charm. So I'm inking up with Memento ink, and let me find the scoreline, which is there. I'm popping this down towards the top of my card. I am then going to switch out to the one that I had already stamped when I was then interrupted by a phone call, and I'll explain why in a moment. So that's our image. Let's pop our sentiment in as well, which is here. Right, now I'm going to switch this over because, and it still may not be perfect, Memento needs to dry in order to be water resistant. And as I'm using watercolour pencils and my blender pen, I need it to be water resistant. So I will do my best to not smudge. I'm using, say, watercolour pencils, and I'm going to use Early Espresso and Calypso Coral. I will, actually, no, I will. I'm also going to bring out Melon Mambo and Real Red. So let's start with Early Espresso. I'm just going to lay down some pigment. And this really is just a question of laying down pigment, and I'm going to try not to go too close to the stamped lines, because that way I'm less likely to actually go over them with my blender pen. Blender pen, sorry. It's now that we've got the brushes as well, I get confused. Doesn't take much, particularly this morning. And I still have a bit of COVID brain, I think. So, Calypso Coral, I'm doing reasonably faintly, because I don't want this to look sunburnt. I want it to look, you know, flesh-like, unburnt flesh. Okay, so blender pen, which is in my box. So I'm just going to check that, yeah, it's wet and it's clean. So I always scribble when I start and when I finish so that I know that it's clean. And I'm just going to run over this. Now, things to be aware of. Do not run over the same place too often, or you will pill your card. And as I say, I'm avoiding the edges as much as possible because I can pick up a little bit of colour straight onto my brush pen. so I'm trying to avoid going over the black line. So that's my not too sunburnt looking hand, and then we'll have a deeper shade here. Now the colours that I'm using for watercolour pencils are all from the first collection. I do keep them together, but I mark which ones are from the first collection and which are from the second collection, just so that I know when I'm using them for videos and things that I'm using from the same collection if possible. So I'm scribbling that off so that I now know that that's clean next time I need it. And then I'm going to take my real red and give her some of my hallmark, trademark nail varnish, and same on this side. So we've got Melon Mambo and Real Red, and I'm not going to blend those, I'm just going to leave them as nice deep colours, which hopefully you can see, and then just fold that, grab my bone folder and burnish, and there we have our card. Right, now for the envelope, I'm going to use this paper, but this way up, and I'm going to add it and then colour. So what I'm going to do is grab my seal and just run seal across the top, the bottom, and down the sides, like that. And then I can take my paper and just add it just so that it's this side of the score line, and then grab my snips. Oops, something about to fall on the floor. Oh, I've got glue on my snips. When I opened them, they resisted. And just be careful not to cut into the envelope flap. I find if I keep this kind of against the edge of the envelope flap, that helps. There is our paper, but to make it a little more fun, I'm just going to bring in my watercolour pencils again and add to that. Now, on the original version of my video, I tried blends and Stampin' Write markers. The blends on the paper do bleed quite badly because they're such a small space. It's quite difficult to get them so that they don't run over the edge of the heart, and then they do bleed. So I would be a little careful about using blends. The Stampin' Write markers worked. I would use the writing end rather than the marker end, personally, because it gives a lighter colour. The brush end has quite a lot of ink in it. And there you go. There is our pretty flap. So those go together. So let me show you the stepped up versions. So the first one is this, and this is a 10.5 centimetre square card. If you're in North America, you could make this 4 1/4 square. So you've got that would be your 8.5. And for those of us in anywhere else other than North America, this is the width of A4 card. For North America, this would be the width of your standard card. Score and a half, and then cut 2 squares, one in Calypso Coral or whatever, Coastal Cabana, or whatever other colour you'd like to use in the background, then one with white. Now, I stamped these and then trimmed it down. I knew they were going to fit, but I trimmed it down to the size that I needed, then stamped my sentiment and used my, I want to say, lovely punch. Punch Me Lovely. Anyway, that one, it's listed over on my website, and the link to that is below in the video. And I've used different colours on each of the thumbnails to make a rainbow. So that's that version. This uses the new tone blends, which will be in the annual catalogue. So they're the natural tones. And then this is the same again, except I've die cut and I've done slightly different colouring. And then this is heat embossed in white. So that's from the Basics collection on basic black, but otherwise exactly the same card. So there you go. Those are our 3 options. I hope you enjoy that. I hope the volume actually works. And I've just realised I've got, oh no, I haven't. I thought I had a light showing. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. I hope to get this loaded up very soon. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.